Hello everyone, welcome to Trackside with Tom. My name is Tom Hogan. I am the owner and operator of Steel Highway Railcams, and I am thrilled to be here with you today on this fantastic Monday morning, Monday afternoon, whatever we're calling it. Monday afternoon, I suppose. So, I hope everyone had a good weekend. We had a lot of storms here in eastern Iowa just last night. Big spike in viewership last night as people were paying attention to the storms going through kind of south of where I live, but definitely in eastern Iowa, but more southeast eastern Iowa, I suppose. And so had a couple webcams knocked offline last night, but we got them all back going today. Washington was offline for a little while, so was Mount Pleasant, West Liberty, but I believe everything is restored to functional operation now. So, as we kick off the program today, we are going to do an open line program this Monday. So, people just throwing out timestamps and give me whatever you got, and we will let the viewers decide the direction of the program this afternoon. I am going to start out with a timestamp from Bellevue. This is literally just, 20 minutes ago, 19 minutes ago. And, the scanner's working in Bellevue. And so we have a southbound train coming into Bellevue, and I was given a heads up that this guy has a unique trailing unit on it. So we've got a NS leader, bnsf H2, it looks like, second out, and I believe that this is a loaded sand train. And we're looking for the rear DPU on this particular consist. So while we're rolling this guy by, thanks everyone for logging in. Hello to Barry over in Butler Junction. Hello to M. Murphy, Barry Anderson, Santa Fe Man, Austin, Michael Richmond, good to see you. Ian, up in Minnesota, good to see all you guys. Thanks for tuning in today. We are doing an open line program today, so just so everybody knows, throw some timestamps out there, and we'll definitely follow them along. Other than that, I hope that everyone here in the chat avoided having any significant storm damage last night. I was talking a little bit about that, but there was definitely a big spike in viewership last night as the storms were rolling through eastern Iowa about 7 to 8 to 9 o'clock. Appreciate everybody tuning in and watching the storm coverage, even though that's not technically what we're here for. I know that a lot of people do like to watch the webcams and see things like snowfall totals and, is there hail? Is there going to be a tornado? All these things. It's definitely interesting to see, and it's certainly an interesting side effect of having the webcams available. So, Daniel Swanson, hello. Good to see you. Michael Richmond is apparently rail fanning in Kansas City. Any particular place in Kansas City, Michael, or just the general metro area? Be interesting to find that out. Let's see here. We got 21 people logged in. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in on this Monday afternoon. It is definitely a beautiful Monday afternoon. West-facing camera was off about 2 hours ago. Which west-facing camera are you talking about? The Mount Pleasant West camera? Or one of the other ones? By the way, hello, Larry Osborne also. And here comes what we're looking for. And I believe that this is... Yes, it's the Central of New Jersey, or New Jersey Central. However it is that Central of New Jersey or New Jersey Central, one of the two, the Heritage Unit. that is, it's part of the NS Heritage Fleet, and it's on the rear of this loaded sand train going south at Bellevue. So we caught that. Oh, at Grinnell. All right, good to know, at Grinnell. Maybe that got knocked offline and I didn't even realize it. So thank you for the heads up there, Larry. Definitely appreciate it. Number 4 is late and at Fort Madison right about now. Well, that's certainly interesting. Let's go ahead and check out the eastbound Southwest Chief at Fort Madison. I see that we have a eastbound stack train going by, or no, I'm sorry. It was not a stack train. This was actually a Z train. Very interesting. I think that we're going to roll this back a little bit. We'll get the roll by. Off of the intermodal train, and while we're doing that, I'm going to sneak in to see if I can get into Fort Madison and turn the camera. I don't know if we have a camera operator on duty right now, but if nothing else, I'll get in there and I'll jump in there and check it out myself and get us turned toward the south to look at the Amtrak depot. And I'm not seeing... Oh, there's the gates going down. So we're getting close. Gates are coming down, and we should see a... Yep, here it comes. Eastbound Santa Fe train. Coming up to the crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fascinating. All right. Looks like 5 GEs on there. And now I'm going to jump over here quick and see if we can get into Fort Madison. So, eastbound on the Santa Fe at Fort Madison, heading toward the Illinois side of the river. And if I go to, I believe it is preset number 2. Aha, yes. There it is. All right. So we're going to jump right ahead to live. And as soon as the camera catches up with, as soon as YouTube catches up with the camera operation, we will in fact see the Southwest Chief stopped at the Fort Madison Amtrak depot. So what else do we have here? There we go. All right. We have CP 180, 181 start this week, Bensonville to Mexico. Well, that is fascinating. That would be something that would go by our southern Canadian Pacific cameras. That would operate by Muscatine and Washington and Ottumwa. So it'll definitely be something to check out when the time comes. We see Amtrak now. We've got them stopped at Fort Madison. And someone ought to check and see if the eastbound California Zephyr is anywhere near Mount Pleasant or Ottumwa also. That would be another interesting catch. Hello, Brett. Good to see you. Hope that you're getting a little warmer weather up there in central Wisconsin today. 823 Munger, southbound U714. K-Train, hello. No, nobody's ever late, because honestly, you can go back and watch this live later if you want to. Or excuse me, replay it. You don't have to watch it live. That's kind of the beauty of YouTube, right? You can just go back and rewatch it anytime that you wish. If you think that we got an amazing episode that we put together, go back and rewatch that many times as you want. Eastbound Intermodal, BNSF 3736 and CP 8915. All right. And I think he said he's on the Kansas City terminal today. So, as Amtrak is stopped here, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to we have our second newest camera now here in Fort Madison, and the newest camera up in Munger, which we will check out at some point here later in the program. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in to check out these new cameras. It's more interesting live. Yes, I'm sure it is. But I appreciate the compliment nonetheless. So, Amtrak is boarding. You know, I forget sometimes they do a crew change here. And so it can take a little bit longer to get them in and out and done with their station work. But I wonder if they are actually, it looks like they're getting ready to leave the platform now. So we might very well have Amtrak being ready to depart. Yep, you can see actually the conductor waving people onto the train.
Yes, sir. And you're way on Main 1 eastbound. All right, here we go. This is Foreman.
I love having the radio chatter to be able to find out what's going on.
On today's date, Chillicothe, sir.
Yes, California Zephyr derailed in Chicago. That didn't literally derailed. Literally derailed at Chicago Union Station. Didn't even make it out of the station and they were derailed. Yes. So that was definitely yesterday's fiasco. Oh, we're going to mute that for just a second here. Definitely part of yesterday's fiasco, the California Zephyr got annulled because they did not make it out of Union Station. I know that there are photos of this out there. If you search for it on social media, there's quite a few photos of what happened. So obviously we're very hopeful that no one was injured or that anything happened to the crew or the passengers in that particular instance, because we want to be able to continue to see Amtrak go by the various webcams here. So Amtrak is getting ready. They are accelerating, and I am talking and panning the camera at the same time, seeing if I can keep up with him as he's accelerating toward the drawbridge. And as we turn to look toward the east, we're going to see him depart Fort Madison and head toward the Illinois side of the river. So there you got to see my own hand there at running the. Oh, it was the Empire Builder, not the Zephyr. Oh, okay. Well, you just got to see my own hand there at trying to run the PTZ camera and host a live program at the same time. I don't know how well that worked, but I think that I did a reasonably good job of it. So, as we watch Amtrak depart Fort Madison here, we have some more timestamps, it looks like.
This one behind that is the Z-Lock, Nick, probably.
Time to look at TGBOs, that's right. Oh, it was the Empire Builder, not the Zephyr. All right, well, that's good to know. Looks like Southwest Chief is still almost better with time than California Zephyr. Yeah. Oh, there's a Surfliner car. Not something you see every single day.
You being on a train going to Linwood, not telling.
Hello, Falling Up. Hello, Giles. Good to see you guys.
Crew's got a map. We'll figure out where it's at.
And we're going to jump off of this now, and we'll go over to the actual newest webcam that we have available, which is Munger. A couple people put some timestamps in here for Munger. So we are going to look back. 0823, it looks like, is our first timestamp at Munger. And it was apparently raining very hard up here early this morning. But 4:30 in the morning, we got to move up a little bit further here to be able to see a train coming out of the fog at Munger. Where are we at? 0823, southbound at Munger. We got to go ahead a little bit further here. 701. Keep going. Little bit too far. Here we go. I think we found it. Might have to wait just a little bit for it to show up. I can hear the gates coming down now. So, oh yeah, Giles is here with us on our lunch. I assume that there's a fair number of people that check in over their lunchtime, watch the program with us. Let's see what we've got leading this southbound. Looks like the trio of CNW, ex-CNW-8s there. And a very short train. What did we say that was? That's a local of some sort? Yeah, U714. Interesting. Alright. What else are we going to do? We'll knock out these timestamps from Munger. Looks like 0903. So not too much further along. And, you know, I don't know if I consider this heavy fog necessarily. It was definitely worse fog earlier in the morning. So, as this northbound approaches, it looks like, I wonder if he's one by one, or even with a DPU. Single tier 4 leader going by. And a nice long container train. So we've got 34 people logged in. Thank you, everyone. Overpowered by the Munger Tavern, of course. Yes. So, hello, M. Helium. How are you doing today? Looks like we've got a solid train of 40-foot shipping containers heading toward Canada on this particular move. U714 dropped the limestone cars at Keenan and came back south with some cars from the yard.
Yeah, 3061 over.
Guessing that the leaves will probably appear at the end of the month. You know, the trees are really are still kind of desolate looking, but I'm sure that it's just a matter of how far north this is that they'll green up pretty nice when the time comes. I did want to go back because there was such a bad storm. I did want to go back and look and see what we had for trains going through the overnight storm up here in Munger. I see a DPU coming now. And these containers are always interesting to me as well. These circular containers that they put in rectangular frames, or cylindrical vessels maybe, that they use in rectangular frames. Yeah, here comes the DPU. It looks like another tier 4 actually. I don't know if we can quite, CN3026 I think is the number on that. 0803 for the northbound in the fog. Yeah. Well, you know what? We found a pretty nice northbound to look at right here also. You know, it's something that we don't see a lot of, but looking at the difference in the height of these containers is interesting as well. Some of them are taller than others, and I don't know that I've noticed that a whole lot lately. Any idea when Tremolo will be fixed and running consistently? You know, I wanted to, when I went up to Munger to install this camera, I wanted so badly to drive through Tremolo and try to fix that camera. And the problem was that there had been the derailment on the BNSF at DeSoto a couple days earlier that they were still cleaning up, and there was also the problem with some of the roads still being impassable. Oh, we're going to back this up just a little bit more. See some headlights coming from underneath the bridge there. And so Evan and I talked about it on the way up there, and we just decided that it was not going to be worth the time to try to get into Tremolo to be able to work on that camera. And, you know, we did scout out some new locations. Nothing that I can really share with anyone, nothing concrete yet, but we did spend some time scouting out new locations. There's another City Rail leaser that is purchased and renumbered by the CN. This guy feels like he's moving a lot slower. M. Murphy, yes, tanks on racks, mostly a European thing. I agree. Yeah, the river is dropping fast. Unfortunately, the day that we drove up there last Sunday, it just wasn't realistic to try to get into Tremolo that day. CN's new policy, trains leaving on time instead of waiting for additional rail cars. You know, it's interesting. We've talked, I know that when we did the CPKC merger program about a month ago or whatever it was, we talked about how the kind of the pendulum swings back and forth on the railroads, and they all want to do the same thing, right? There's very much a pack mentality, and they all try to swing one direction, and they try to all swing back the other direction and do something different. And I think that you're starting to see that pendulum's just starting to inch its way back away from PSR and back toward more of a more of the shorter train lengths, and not so much how much tonnage can we get on a single train. But I did notice that also. So, Michael Richmond, welcome back. And 1121, Grand Mound, NS 4002, leading solo westbound. All right. Yes, a very foggy scene here at Munger this morning. I want to go back and see if we can actually get a train, because as much as I talk about how bad the weather was here in eastern Iowa, it was actually, you might even say it was actually worse overnight. Up in the Duluth area. And as I scroll back through here, I'm looking for anything that might have gone through. And I think I found it. So we're going to go back, and we're going to back this up a little bit further, just to give everybody an idea of how bad, how nasty the weather was out here. So this is at midnight 30. We've gone back quite a ways. But, oh, come on, just a little bit further. There we go. So the headlights create an effect where it kind of clears up the image. I think that's the Illinois Central Death Star unit with with the Operation Lifesaver painted on the side. But then as soon as the headlights get by, you can start to see again just how nasty the weather was out here last night. This is very clearly, this is a loaded ore train that's going down grade into Duluth. You can see how it's got all these really short little hoppers on it. But now that the head end is by, you can also see very clearly just how much the wind is pushing the rain in front of the camera. So as we got this guy going by, let's see if we can get caught up on the comments here. Yes, his motor-powered bike, you rail fans to get on with it. Yeah. Griffith camera has a picture within a picture. Oh, yes. So that's something that we'll go over and hit some timestamps at Griffith too. But I spoke with the host at Griffith, and I just wanted to tell you guys that picture-in-picture is supposed to be looking at the Y. It's called the Kirkyard Y that's on the east side. It's outside of the frame of the picture, as we see the EOT going by on the end of this southbound ore train. So let's jump over to Griffith quick, and we'll talk about this really briefly. But the host at Griffith, he is showing us that this is what it looks like looking to the east from the Griffith Tower. So you're seeing further back in the train, like these state cars that are going by now. They'll be going by the camera here pretty shortly. Yeah, there's the state cars with those loads of pipe just starting to go by the camera now. But basically, this is supposed to be able to give you, if a train goes around the east leg of the Y, the Kirkyard Y, that it would theoretically give you an image of that train that you otherwise might not see, because it's outside of the frame of the main picture. So we're going to try this for a while and see how people like it. It's not taking anything away from the main image, which is the entire interlocking up here. But we're hoping that this will be able to give people a little more perspective on everything all the movements that go through Griffith. And let's see here. And Murphy, Larry Osborne, yep. Austin, William Clare, hello, how are you doing? So anyway, that's what we're looking at. And this is it looks like this is the L595 is what people are saying. I didn't actually roll this back to see what the power was. We could probably do that as well. But my guess is, given the amount of Santa Fe cars and BNSF cars that were on this train, this is probably this Kirkyard to Eola train that's going to... Yeah, pair of BNSF motors. My guess is that this is this transfer job that we talked about before. All right. So if we go to live, has this train cleared? No, it is still... All right. So if you look really closely here, there's a really narrow little section where you can see. So you've actually got, if you go the top track, which you can just kind of barely see through the weeds, that is the Kirkyard Y. And then there are two mains on this elevated section that's in the middle, and then the bottom track is the connecting track that we actually see go right in front of the cabooses here on the main, unless if that's both of the mains. Maybe one main is just higher than the other. I guess that's possible, but I thought that was that connecting track for some reason. Alright, well, yes, sometimes the sound does get out of sync with the actual train movements. Yes, that is 100% correct. So as we back up here, I don't know if I can get an example of it or not. I would like to be able to see a train that just goes by on the Kirkyard Y and does not go by anything else. But I don't know if I'm going to get an example of that or not. And I think this is something new that the host just instituted this morning. I mean, the reality is there aren't a huge number of moves that strictly go off of that Kirkyard Y. But I think we may have found one. All right, right here. So we're back here. All right, so here's a train. Yes, that is the Kirkyard Y. And he's got a bnsf H1 there. Look at that. So this is a train that's coming off of the South Bend sub, turning the corner at the Kirkyard Y to head up to Gary, Indiana, which is where the Kirkyard is located. And then I think what you're going to see here in a little bit, if we keep advancing, I thought that I saw one going around. Yeah, so the gates are coming down now. So let's see here. Because if this guy is going from the Kirkyard, or from the South Bend sub onto the Kirkyard Y, then this other train that's coming, this will not be a conflicting move. And it looks like it might even be the local with the shoving platform caboose that they run around with occasionally. So this guy going around the south leg of the Y does not make a conflicting move with the guy going around the east leg of the Y. And they're able to make their moves, and he's able to get from the Madison sub onto the South Bend sub. Yeah, so we've got I think we've got an EJ&E SD38 here. The 658 is the repainted leader for us. And as he's rounding the Y, we see that we've got some coil cars and some hoppers. Aware that the Tremolo has been dark for over 12 hours. No, I have not. But I will take a look at it. It looks like he's coming up with that shoving platform in the rear as well. We're going to reset this. And then we'll go over here and we'll see if Tremolo, and I can definitely get Tremolo pulled up and see if I can fix that quick. But the problems with Tremolo are evident to me. Don't make any mistakes. I have a plan to fix it even. I just wasn't able to get there to do it at the time that I had. Oh, NS4005 also trailing on a westbound Z train at Grand Mound 1218. All right. So Tremolo should be fixed now. For anybody who has me added on Facebook, you can always shoot me messages on Facebook Messenger let me know that a camera is offline or dark or whatever, don't ever be afraid to do that. I'm always happy for the information, and I do endeavor to get things fixed quickly when I have the ability to do so. So, there goes the CN local with the caboose shoving platform on the rear, and we see this other train going around the Kirkyard Y at the same time. All right, so let's go over to, let's jump right over to Grand Mound, and we will take a look at a couple of timestamps at Grand Mound. It looks like a couple of westbounds here today. Oh, something just went by. Apparently, we just missed something. Let's take a look here and see. We can see there's a section crew obviously working on trying to get the, and there goes that, oh, that goes that NS unit. I missed it as I was trying to adjust the volume. And there's that NS 4005 we were just talking about. And then we will back this up a little bit further, and we will find, yes, they are replacing the crossing panels on Main 1. That's correct. And then 1121. Another rainy day in Grand Mound as well. We don't have to go back too much further here, but we will find, in between the raindrops, we should be able to find, yep, there comes the gates coming down. And Grand Mound is another one that was at least briefly interrupted by the storm last night. However, we did in fact get it back online as well. And there is the Solo NS 4002 leading by Grand Mound today. So we caught both of those, and so two NS leaders in very close proximity to each other. Two NS motors, special looking NS motors, in very close proximity to each other, going through Grand Mound, both on westbounds as well. Interesting. So do we have any other timestamps? Did I miss any timestamps that anyone put out? Let's see here. I think we hit all the timestamps that everyone shared. And, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to go actually over to Fort Madison. Thank you. I enjoy putting this format on. And definitely appreciate it when people tune in and say, hey, yeah, we like this. We enjoy it. So we're going to go back just a little ways here, and we're going to find, I think this is a BNSF grain train. Whoa! And it's a little bit loud, but we'll make it work.
3728 East.
You know, some pretty standard BNSF power. You got a big swoosh and a little swoosh. And grain train going through downtown Fort Madison on his way into Illinois as well. And as we see here, a solid set of BNSF hoppers, some of the swoosh logo and some with the Santa Fe logo. There's a Burlington route logo. I've not seen that in a very long time. A gray hopper with a Burlington route logo. That's very fascinating. That's something interesting that railroads could do instead of doing like heritage locomotives. If they started doing heritage grain hoppers and heritage coil cars, that's something that might be interesting for the railroads to consider doing at some point. Heritage box cars. There's all kinds of fun things you could do with that. So, anyway, while this grain train is going by, snaking his way toward the drawbridge and across the river, I just want to remind everybody to go to steel-highway.com and consider subscribing. Consider subscribing to the Steel Highway magazine. I'm guessing that anyone that's here that is subscribed, you should have your latest issue of Steel Highway. Should have come in the mail. It was in the mail. I think it was actually in the mail April 30th or April 29th, maybe. And so, yeah, we're definitely want to encourage people to make sure and subscribe to the Steel Highway magazine. Order an issue. You can also join the channel as a member. There's lots of different tiers at which you can join the channel and become a member as well. Yes, heritage slogans. Yeah, that would be pretty neat too, with the all the different slogans. Like we saw that CB&Q heritage logo on the hopper that went by, and then have behind it to say Everywhere West, for instance. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting as well. I agree. So what else do we have here? Oh, we were talking about the Steel Highway magazine. Obviously, you can order all the stuff we've got available for sale, hats and camera straps and just all kinds of fun stuff. And, these are all important ways that people can help support the channel. So I obviously appreciate everybody, that even the people that just log in and watch, that don't have the ability to support financially. I totally get it. But make sure, if you have the ability to, the Steel Highway magazine is just a fantastic publication. And I am really proud of it, but I also think that it does a fantastic job of really showing off these photographers' work. And just really gives people a channel, an outlet for their creative proclivities that they already have. And a place to go to be able to show people that, hey, I got this photo published in this magazine. Come and check it out. So definitely appreciate that. But yes, heritage slogans. Grinnell West is dark. Yeah, you know what? I can probably take a look at that also. Pretty sure that might have been another casualty of last night's storms that I maybe just didn't get around to addressing during the course of last night. Let's see here. So what have we got? We have got Grinnell. Well, that's interesting. Well, apparently, there goes our DPU. So the grain train has proceeded past. Well, it turns out that I might not be able to fix that, at least immediately anyway. That when I look at this, it only shows me one camera online. But hey, at least it's the east camera, so we can see the diamond. But anyway, thanks for the heads up, and I'll apparently have to do some more research into figuring out why exactly that is going on. T-shirts in the near future. So it's interesting you ask that. I have a T-shirt design, and I even have some T-shirts in a box sitting right next to me over here. And the problem is, I don't really have enough of them to be able to offer them for sale. And so I'm not 100% sure, But yeah, I have a plan for t-shirts, sweatshirts too, for that matter. And I'm excited about the plan. I just haven't figured out quite how to execute it yet. So, and I really, I haven't figured out what to sell them for or anything. So, it's kind of a problem, but I'm working on it. I was going to look up another timestamp here at Fort Madison. I'm sorry. I jumped away from that a little bit too soon. And I guess we're going to get a timestamp right now. So we're just going to see what's coming. Oh, it's one of these UP trackage rights trains. And I know that we've talked about this before. There's another NS motor on a UP train. And it looks like he's got a wide cab SD70 third out there. I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but the UP does seem to go out of their way to make sure that these trackage rights trains on the BNSF always have UP power on them. Maybe not exclusively UP power, but certainly leading with UP power. And we're seeing, pretty standard mix, EMD group, hub group, Schneider boxes. So, yeah, hailstorm yesterday in Grinnell with baseball-sized hail and strong winds. It does make me a little bit concerned if it knocked out one of those cameras. It's very possible because the one camera did not show online at all. So we may have had our first actual storm casualty for a camera. As we see, there's some CR Englands. And something that is interesting to note on Friday, the UP and CN and one of the Mexican railroads all announced a joint logistics agreement for moving containers from Mexico all the way to Canada. And, they talked about the connection at Joliet, but there actually is no connection at Joliet between the CN and the UP, but there is one at Chicago Heights. And it'll be interesting to see if that connection is upgraded. And the CN trains, we would see them going by Griffith, and then they would literally turn at Griffith, go down the Madison sub a short distance, and then jump right off at Chicago Heights to get on the old CNEI, or Chicago and Eastern Illinois, which the UP acquired via their Mopac merger 30-some years ago now. Ferromex, there we go. Yes, Ferromex, that's right. But yes, the UP, they did that, and they also filed suit to try to stop the CPKC merger, which I don't know how they think that's going to work out, but they did in fact try to file suit to undo the CPKC merger in federal court. Don't really see that going too far. It seems a little bit like sour grapes, but so be it. That's the way things are going to work, I guess. Yeah, lots and lots of these green EMP containers going by here. Saw a tornado on radar just south of Ottumwa last night. Yes, I believe there were tornado warnings in a number of different towns. And it'll be interesting to see, though. The reason I bring all this up is to be interesting to see if some of these interline moves between the CN and UP start going by the Griffith Tower. Because I think that is a very realistic possibility based on the routing that they advertise with this press release that the CN and UP and Ferromex put out on Friday afternoon. And so 1142 westbound at West Liberty. Well, we are definitely going to have to check that out. Thank you, Barry Anderson, for checking that out. There is a UP and CN connection at Joliet. Well, okay. I guess I should correct that. I didn't think it was a usable connection. Is there a transfer track there? Sure, maybe. Would it require some upgrading? But my guess is that the better bet is that they would probably use the connection at Chicago Heights rather than the connection at Joliet to be able to move trains, interline trains between the CN and UP. So that's my guess. I don't obviously know that for sure, but we're going to know pretty quickly when the UP and CN get together and start deciding which interlocking that they're going to upgrade. Oh yeah, after losing the Schneider contract too, yes, for sure. We see more of these containers on flat cars and then a couple of DPU pushers. Oh, and then after the DPUs, now we have the trailers on flat cars. Lots of UPS trailers here. CN oil trains come down from the UP Adams sub for few years now out of Superior. That's interesting. Yes, after losing the Schneider contract too. I'm sure that they're not happy about that either. So let's see here. UP or UPS. There's a UP and a UPS, right? That's exactly what it is. So the UPS trailers on the Union Pacific Railroad. Now, we're going to jump over to West Liberty, and we will check out this timestamp at West Liberty, Iowa. There was a very impressive storm going through here last night. Lots of lightning. For anybody that happened to have the opportunity to check it out, it was definitely well worth your time. Oh, I went back too far. 11:42. There's 11:41. We're going to have this guy on here very, very quickly. FedEx is pledged to begin using more rail too. Interesting. All right. I can hear the train whistling for the crossings as it blasts through downtown West Liberty. And should be coming into picture here just any moment now. And it's got the 513 leading. Well, good catch there, Barry Anderson. We got to see another Heritage unit. We started the program with one, and now we ended with one as well. So this is going to be our last roll-by of the day. I believe this is the BICB going through West Liberty, Iowa. And this is going to be our final Monday afternoon program. I know it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed interacting with everyone on these Monday afternoons. And because of my kids being home from school for the summer and my wife going back to work, we're going to be ending the Monday afternoon programs and going to a strictly Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central is the new schedule. So Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central, we'll be back 2 days from now, Wednesday night, and then at a minimum all summer, it's going to be Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central. And then in the fall, we will probably make it a point to get some more programming going once the kids are back in school. I want to continue to do the Steel Highway TV as well, so look for some upcoming episodes of Steel Highway TV at the same time. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to all 41 viewers that tuned in live today. And I always appreciate everyone checking in and showing their support. And make sure and check out steel-highway.com to help support the channel. Thank you and have a fantastic afternoon.